Let me say this slowly. A rapper just dropped a country rap song calling for lynchings. Not coded, not metaphor, actual lyrics.
Oh, we need a big tall tree and a short piece of rope. Hang 'em up high at sundown. Leave 'em swinging so the folks all know you don't mess around in our town. A big
Within the same week, two men were found hanging from trees in Mississippi, one outside Delta State University, 21-year-old Demartravian Reed, and a white man, Corey Zuckertus, who was hanged behind a shuttered building in Vicksburg. That's not history, that's last week. Now ask yourself, how do we explain a country where lynching is trending again, even in music, where people are still found swinging from trees, and the default response is silence or suspicion? Because since Charlie Kirk was tragically killed, the right is rushing to blame leftist violence despite history and statistics with no pause, no context.
If I wanted to zoom out with Stephen a little bit and talk about all of the ways that we're trying to figure out how to prevent this festering violence that you see on the far left from becoming even more and more
Just
mainstream.
raging headlines. But when this happens, when death mirrors the ugliest chapters of American history, it's crickets. Or worse, it's let's wait for the investigation. What does it mean that this is what we're normalizing? That artists are rewarded for invoking lynching in 2025? That death by noose doesn't spark national mourning, it sparks debate. What kind of cultural climate does that reveal? One where violence is tolerated depending on who it targets? One where the worst symbols of racial terror are being remixed into pop culture? We're not just witnessing headlines, we're witnessing a warning. History doesn't repeat itself by accident, it repeats because we celebrate the seeds of it. So the question isn't whether history will repeat itself, the question is, will we even recognize it when it does? Because the trees are still here, the songs are louder, and the silence is starting to sound like approval. Peace.